technologies in every industry. A company's ability to undergo true business transformation by repositioning its business model according to these evolving market conditions is key to success. In this panel discussion, we are trying to understand how technology has the ability to completely transform a business and its bottom line if it's embraced and integrated in the right way. How can organizations avoid the common mistakes made by businesses when attempting transformation and leveraging available technology at an appropriate time? Chairing this session is Subhasish, Vice President Global BFSI Domain Head at Happiest Minds. May I invite Mr. Subhasish on the dais, sir, please. Our panelists for the session, Kappu Jaykumar, Senior Director Technology at Lowe, India. Jayanth Lakavalli, Software Director Research and Development at Schneider Electric. And Chetan Garga, Managing Director and Country Head India at Allstate India. Thanking our esteemed panel for being here with us today. Please join us welcoming them with a warm round of applause and handing it over to our moderator, sir.
Hello. Very good afternoon. Good afternoon. I know it's a post-lunch session. We need some time to basically get up. Fine. So, what we have discussed is that we will be talking about of how the role of technology, basically, if technology is helping the entire industry in different industries in the different areas, how the transformation is happening. And here the panelists are here. So I will just quickly tell them to introduce themselves. They come from a different vast industry, and this will be a very interesting session to know that each and every industry, how they're adopting it and what's the business transformation is happening in their space. So Kappu, if you can start with your small introduction.
Thank you, Subhashish. Very good afternoon to everyone. I'm Kappu Jaykumar, Senior Director of Technology at Lowe's India. Lowe's is the second largest home improvement retailer in the US. And we've been a 100-year-old business selling home improvement products. And I focus primarily on managing the engineering and product development teams for growing our private brands business, which is our global merchandising business. So I've been with Lowe's for about 4.5 years now, and in the technology world for about 26 years, previously with other retailers like Amazon, Microsoft, and Tesco and Walmart.
Thanks Kappu. Chetan.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. I think after that previous session with all that space stuff and satellites, we are nowhere as close to exciting, and maybe we should probably spend some time in that world. But I'm Chetan Garg. I'm the Managing Director for Allstate in India. We are a large auto and home insurance company in the US with revenues of about $50 billion, have been around for 90 years. In India, we are 10 years young in two cities, Bangalore and Pune, and we've got about 7,000 plus staff across technology, operations, analytics. And we are quite proud to say that we are driving quite a bit of the interesting stuff from India, and we'll cover a bit of that as part of the session.
Thanks, Chetan. Jayanth.
Wonderful. So my name is Jayanth. I'm part of a company called Schneider Electric. I know some of you have heard of it. It's an energy management company, primarily into commercial and industrial space. And I, in particular, lead the R&D for a division called Industrial IoT. So what is Industrial IoT? Pretty simply, we digitize all the information coming out of the devices and the software, and we are able to visualize. So digitize and visualize and build applications on top of it is what Industrial IoT is about. So Schneider is again a fairly large conglomerate, has been around for almost a century. But in India, in particular, they're in almost like an independent entity. They make about 2 billion euros. It's a French company, so I'm going to talk about euros for a change. And then they are also in other parts of the world. They are about a 30 billion euro company.
Thanks, Jayanth. And last but not least, Subhasish here. Happiest Minds is a IT services. I head the BFSI vertical, and we try to basically solve the customer's problems through digital transformation. So, without wasting much more time, Kappu, I just want to know your viewpoint based on your industry expertise, that how this innovative technology is transforming your entire business, both from the top line as well as the bottom line. If you can give some of your experts' comments here.
Absolutely. So, retail industry, has been going through an enormous change, and that's primarily triggered by, the growing awareness of our customers. And, with the COVID-19 happening, it has changed basically the customer sentiments and their lifestyle. And retailers like us, we had to adopt technology, very intensely to cater to the growing needs of our customers. The retail industry is complex, but the home improvement retail that we at Lowe's are is a super complex industry. The reason is the customer journey of our customers is super long. It starts all the way from inspiration until installation. So let me give you an example. For example, if you are remodeling a kitchen, right, it's something that has a lot of research goes into it. The whole family is involved. You want to think about get inspiration from everywhere. Do I want a modular kitchen? And it goes all the way up till installation of your floors, your kitchen cabinets, your appliances. So this journey being very long, we at Lowe's, we try to build solutions that's going to make this intense journey for a customer super simple and delightful as well, because it's an important experience for all of them remodeling their homes. And we leverage the power of our omni-channel spaces as well, which is be it our physical stores, our online stores, or somewhere in between what we call as a phygital space, leveraging our mobile technologies as well. So, as I said, Lowe's is a 100-year-old retailer. So we're a traditional brick and mortar retailer, and we moved into the transformation journey somewhere in the 2018. But it was during the pandemic that was the tipping point where the transformation journey got really accelerated, because a lot of customers started staying at home, and home became their haven. It became their schools, their office space, it became their gym and everything. So they started embarking on a lot of remodeling journeys in their homes. And the traffic to our e-commerce site just skyrocketed. And what we had to do, move our e-commerce, which was more on a legacy platform, and re-platform it into GCP in just a matter of weeks. And about 60% of our orders that we were getting online were actually what we call as BOPIS orders, which is buy online but go pick it up in the store. But again, there were growing concerns about home deliveries, and then when they go into the shop, all the temperature checks and so on. So customers wanted, different ways of shopping. They wanted faster checkouts and contactless shopping experiences. So we rolled out curbside pickup in a matter of weeks. We did other checkout methods like, pick up the items from their lockers, or we had self-service kiosks all installed, and all of this technology had to be innovated and developed really, really very, very fast. And self-service technology was built completely out of our India office. So there, besides all of this, right, there were customers who just didn't want to come out of their house, but they still wanted to feel completely comfortable and understand the products that they wanted to buy. So we launched a lot of visualization and configurator capabilities. So we launched something called the paint selector, so which allows customers to actually look at different paint types and compare the colors of the paints before they purchase it. So, and when they are remodeling their floor, for example, they wanted to see like how much carpet should they buy. Before the pandemic, we used to send traditional installation experts to the customers' homes to measure their space. Now, with the pandemic, they don't want to let new people coming into the house. And so this became a challenge. So how do you enable the customers? How do you give power in the hands of the customers to do it themselves? And so that's where we launched a capability called Measure Your Space. So it's a spatial commerce tool that uses a LiDAR technology. So LiDAR is a depth recognition technology that comes inbuilt with your iPhone 12 Pro and 13 onwards. So we use that technology to allow customers to just use their phone to measure their space, because that's going to now tell them how much to buy. And so we were enabling our customers, and these customers also, they get very anxious when they are ordering expensive items from our stores. So we started giving them Uber-like tracking capabilities, so that they get comfortable about knowing where their product is at what point in time. So we built a lot of technologies that's going to support our customers and make their journey seamless and frictionless. We also invested a lot of technology in supporting our associates. That's the associates who are in our store serving our customers. So we partnered with NVIDIA Omniverse and built a digital twin of our physical stores. So this digital twin really helps our associates to think about how their store should be and what it is now, and optimizing our store layouts, and also restocking capabilities so that we have the right products in the right shelves, so to enable our customers to come and navigate. Especially we also have launched for customers to navigate very easily in the store, we have launched store locator capabilities so that it tells them exactly which aisle their product is. So to sum it all, I think in retail, technology enables us to build solutions that the customers really want. It is for us to really understand what the customers want and build. And of course, today in a world, it's all about hyper-personalization. Customers really want hyper-personalized products, their recommendations or offers that we send as well. So we have invested a lot in understanding our customers by building hyper-personalization and recommendation engines as well. And a lot of this technology, be it hyper-personalization, a lot of e-commerce technologies, the private branded technologies that my team is driving, we're all based out of India. And India is a huge innovation hub and a big engineering center for Lowe's.
Excellent, Kappu. I will sum it up later, but really how technology is coming into our home, which we came to know from Kappu. Chetan, being a hardcore insurance expert, how this entire insurance industry is transforming with your expertise. Please go ahead.
Sure, thanks. So I think first of all, for everyone, the digital acceleration has been multifold, right? What we're going to do in 5 years, we probably did in 6 months. And we just had to do this during the pandemic and even beyond. It's sustained beyond the pandemic. I'll give you a couple of examples that all of you can associate with, and I'll make it a bit interactive. So everybody here has got some form of transport, right? 2-wheelers, 4-wheelers, etc. Yeah? Okay, I'm assuming that's a yes. During the pandemic, a lot of these vehicles were parked where we couldn't go anywhere, right? There were lockdowns, there were cops all over, and unless you had a good reason to go somewhere, you couldn't get out of your house or go just in the neighborhood, right? Now, I'm sure, being good civic citizens, all of you had insurance on your vehicles, right? Now, did you ever feel that I'm paying all this insurance for this vehicle which is going nowhere? Did you feel that? I'm sure many of you felt, why am I paying all this insurance, right?
Yes,
my
or no?
vehicle is parked. It's not going anywhere. Chance of accident is very low, but still I'm paying some serious amount towards insurance. Now, how would you have felt if we had something which allowed you to only pay insurance when you used your vehicle? Usage-based insurance. How many of you would pick it up? Just raise your hands. Most of you. I'm kind of assuming all of you, right? We had this product in the US called Milewise, where we were only charging insurance on a usage basis. And that's actually hyper customization because each individual, based on how they drive, what vehicle they have, and what trip they're making, is charged insurance. And we added to that saying, and we will never exceed your annual insurance. So you pay on a usage basis, and even if you drive every day of the year, it will never exceed your annual insurance. Would you all buy it? Yes. Right? So that's what we did during the pandemic. And technology was the foundation on which all this worked. Data, technology, connectivity, bring it all together. I think these are some of the things that as an insurance company we brought in. It was a super success. In fact, we had a lot of people following us after that as well. Now let me give you a different example. Unfortunately for us who have vehicles, we also sometimes get into accidents, right? Not for our own reason. Many times somebody else who comes and hits us or grazes us or causes scratches and dents, right? Now to get that insurance claim done typically takes a long time. Getting an adjuster in, going to a garage, doing an estimation could take weeks. And you don't have a vehicle if it's a major damage, or you're not even supposed to use the vehicle while it's going through an insurance estimation process. Again, with technology, so we basically brought in quick photo claims. You take photographs of the dent, upload it, within 24 hours your claim is settled. And we have teams in India doing it for the world, for the US, for Canada, and etc. So again, technology makes the whole process so smooth. In fact, we took it one step further. We had video, virtual estimation through using videography. We had the estimator, we had the garage, and we had the customer on the same conversation saying, this is the estimate, how do you want to go ahead? The person gives the green light, done. So all this weeks of delay, not having a vehicle, and then chasing up an adjuster and the garage and the insurance company, all that squeezed to within 24 hours. This is what we were forced to do in an accelerated way, and now this is mainstream. This is the way it works. And everybody's a happy person who's a customer of our insurance company and is seeing all these things happen so quickly. So there are many such examples where technology has really, I'd say, transformed, but in an accelerated way of how we do business. And I think we've all been beneficiaries of that. Again, I think this is just a start. There's much more to happen, much more to come as you look at transportation overall. And I think we just benefit as a group overall. Thanks.
Terrific, terrific. It's a very nice example which Chetan you have given. Now, Jayanth, being an R&D person, you deal with your technology day and out. I just wanted to know your perspective of how you're basically giving this innovation to your company and how that transforming into your business.
Well, yeah. So I just when I introduced myself, I said Schneider Electric is an energy management company, right? So what does that mean? Primarily, right, we build, develop, maintain energy efficient solutions and systems and partner with our customers. So those are all big words. So what does energy efficiency actually mean? It very simply put, right, you are using reduced energy, okay, in doing whatever you are doing and producing the same result, okay? So doing the same work, producing the same result, but using less energy. How do you do that? You cannot do it without technology. You can't do it. It's primarily what's involved is technology and innovation. So at Schneider Electric, most of our solutions are based on energy efficiency. There are multiple examples, some of which you can actually go and look at the stall outside. Our pretty popular home automation system, and in this system you can actually save a ton of energy is actually being displayed. Predominantly, of course, Schneider is in the commercial business, like hotels, hospitality, hospitals, and also the industrial space. So in the industrial space, there's a lot of innovation that happens. Starting with just sensors that can actually predict and send data automatically so that your whole industry can be more efficient in operations. Okay, it can be membrane technology for our wastewater plants. We also do something complex where many of our customers are mining customers, so we actually look at estimating the particle size. So in any of the mining industry, this is the most important thing is the particle size and the energy it actually consumes. So all in all, right, most of our solutions are based on energy efficiency. But I want to highlight one particular example. This is around sustainability. And the reason I pick sustainability is mainly because, we all owe it to the world. I think many of you know what sustainability is, right? Today, the lifestyle that we are leading, in about 50, 100 years, we don't know whether our future generations can actually lead. The ice caps are melting. Does anybody know what what is the limit in terms of temperature that we can take at the end of the century? Any idea? Sorry? Okay, nobody has an idea. It's about 1.5 degrees Celsius. So this is the limit that we have between now and 2100. What happens if you cross that? So ice caps start melting really, really fast. It can be catastrophic. There you can also already see examples of something like that. So in India, we launched I would say a collaborative innovation called as Green Next. Okay, and you can actually Google this. So what Green Next does is essentially offer energy as a service. Okay, so this is not something new, but this is quite new in India when it comes to the space that I talked about. So in the hospitality business. Specifically, in this example, we actually build a microgrid controller. By the way, this is not just software, it's a solution. So the microgrid controller basically does distributed energy management. So based on what source, it can actually distribute the energy accordingly. Okay, so with this microgrid controller, we also have software that actually regulates. So this software, what it does is, it is able to estimate the weather condition, because behind this microgrid controller is your renewable source of energy, right? So today we offer solar. So we are partnered with solar and we offer that. We are also researching green hydrogen. So in green hydrogen, the electrolytes are the most important part of it. So we are actually collaborating with startups in India. Okay. So at the end of the day, for the customer, right, the energy off grid or on grid, the cost of the energy is reduced. Okay. For Schneider, it actually adds business value. But together, right, it's the main thing is we are the customer's sustainability partner. So for Schneider, our main mission is we are digital partners for our customers, but most importantly, we are sustainability partners. Okay, so with this energy efficiency examples that I gave you, in 2022, Schneider has actually helped customers reduce basically carbon dioxide footprint by almost 100 million tons just this year. So this is the primary mission of Schneider. So it goes well beyond technology for us, for those who are working. It's a very powerful message as well.
So you're also contributing to the ESG community, because that's what we are seeing.
Absolutely.
That everywhere in the industry, the ESG is the talk of the town. So that's what actually you are harping on.
There is no magic wand in calling Schneider the most sustainable company in the world many years. This is because it's in the DNA.
Excellent. So Jayanth, let me start with you. See, it's good that we are all talking about technology, how technology is helping the business. But I just wanted to know that sometimes it also acts as a constraint
Correct.
or challenges, because everything doesn't come so easy. So based on your experiences, I just want to know, the audiences also should know that what are the challenges or constraints you face while implementing those?
Yeah, so the example that I just gave you, right, is more about collaborative innovation. So innovation comes from Schneider. We build that microgrid controller and also the advisor that advises us, right? But then we also partner. So in this example, it's collaborative innovation. So the challenges that we see, in particular in India, I think it's more than a challenge, it's evolving, is the fact that the ecosystem to innovate is definitely still evolving. So for this whole thing to be successful, we need the right partners, we need the right startups, we need, if you are going to invest in green hydrogen, for instance, we need research, we need to partner with others, okay? So this ecosystem in India is much better than it was 5 years ago. But it has to evolve for us to innovate faster. So for us, this ecosystem development is critical. And also in general, I think we, in all of the industries, we have standards, okay? We have proprietary standards. That actually hampers innovation a little bit, I know all companies, including Schneider, they are guilty of this. But slowly but surely, there is openness in technology. And that, in my opinion, will make things go faster in terms of innovation. Chetan?
Thank you. Chetan, insurance has seen a huge amount of transformation after the post-COVID, and which you already given one example. And being also from the same industry, I know how it is transforming it. But as you know, that BFSI space is very, very delicate, very, very sensitive. Again, from your space, what is the challenges or constraints you feel?
So from a BFSI perspective overall, the regulator has become really strong, and especially after the 2008 financial crisis and others, they become very, very strong. So that's one. In the US, which is where our primary business is, each state has got their own regulator, which means 50 states have got 50 different regulators, and you have to please all of them as you look at innovation, new pricing, new models, and so on. So that is the biggest constraint, because by the time the regulator comes back to accept your prices, 6 months may pass. And then that price is too old because things have moved and the economy has changed, customer needs have changed. So in the BFSI sector overall, I think the regulator is the biggest challenge. And companies are trying to work closely with them, to partner with them. But at this point, I see it as the biggest hindrance.
Excellent. Kappu, the retail space which you said, I was not thinking of that how the entire modular kitchen is coming in a technology, how technology is transforming the home space. But again, these are all very good to say. But is it this retail basically on the home space, is everything going smoothly, or still you people face that it's just like how Jan said it, it's evolving? We need to know how this is evolving, or people are accepting, or your customers are quite accustomed with the way the transformation is happening. Give some of your experts' views.
Sure. So when the pandemic hit us, we were expecting some increase in traffic, but then, we were seeing like almost Black Friday like traffic. If in the retail industry, we have these Black Friday sales that goes on everywhere, and then, it's the peak season that people shop. And because with Christmas coming, people buy a lot of gifts at that time as well. And so it's a peak period for us. So we were preparing for spring, which is like, in early 2020, before the pandemic started. But the kind of traffic we saw was just something that we did not expect at all. We were seeing like almost 100+ days of Black Friday kind of sales that was coming. And when a lot of sales are happening, it also means that we need to have stocks in our shelves. And with a lot of challenges in manufacturing and supply chain challenges with goods moving across the country, our supply chain team really had to work extremely hard, and did a phenomenal job of as the pandemic grew, forecasting for all of these new demands that are coming from the customers, different kinds of things that we're needing from the customer, and also ensuring that we are purchasing items earlier and keeping them on our shelves so that our stocks are the shelves are well stocked when the customers come. Otherwise, this is going to lead to lot of cancellation of our orders and then loss in revenue. So I think our supply chain team really did a phenomenal job to support us. The second thing is, adoption of technologies like the metaverse that we were talking about earlier. See, these technologies are great, but they're still in nascent phases and evolving. For example, for the metaverse, we use these AR and VR tools, which are quite cumbersome to use, and they're also super expensive. And not many companies are exploring the metaverse, and even if they are, they're not talking to each other. So the interoperability between the various platforms of metaverse is quite, again, is not well defined yet. There are not specific standards like, for example, HTML standard for the internet. We don't have a specific standard that is defined for the metaverse. Then there are a lot of data security and information security problems that we still need to use. And these technologies being super expensive, we also really need to have a compelling use case when coming to use these expensive technologies. So we are looking at some of these. See, metaverse is going to be north of $700 billion in the next 2-3 years. So we cannot ignore it. But I think as a company, we don't invest in technology for the sake of investing in it. We ensure that the technology that we are using really caters to our business goals in the end. So we develop solutions that's going to create value for our customers, for our company, and ensuring that our business goals are met.
Excellent, excellent. So what the commonality which I have gathered in all the experts who has just spoke today, one is customer experiences, CX. That's the highlight. Hyper personalization. How I can go close to my customers. Those days are gone where customers will come to you. And that is what the technology is transforming the entire business. We spoke about the AR, VR, we spoke about the metaverse, how you are creating a virtual environment to basically deal with the customers during the pandemic times, which we have seen. How insurance has done a major changes in our automobile industry. Jayanth talked about the most important part, sustainability. How think of that, the technology is now coming in that space. How the carbon is reduction, because everyone is looking for carbon neutral. And that's what actually Jayanth also talked about, that how this entire transformation is changing. Definitely challenges will be there, the constraints will be there, but we need the magician. We need the magician because everything cannot be done by the humans. And if we need the magician, we need those AI, MLs, AR, VR, all the technology, metaverse, all these creating the hyper personalization, creating the ESG ecosystem. Because end of the day, they are also contributing to the country, contributing to the nations. That okay, fine, the entire future also takes care of it. So that's what we came to know. Thanks again, Kappu, Chetan, and Jayanth. We just want to open the floors with some question answers because you will not get this chance to speak to these kind of speakers. Utilize your time. Any questions which you want to ask, they can answer. Please go ahead. Please.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to say congratulations to NESCOM and entire panel member. Really very nice interactive session after lunchtime. Yes, we have seen how satellite has gone. Then we have seen how COVID has impacted and how the digitization make our life easy at the time of COVID. Because of digitization, because of home delivery, everything, we got everything, whatever we required to survive. Now, I'm Dr. Ranjana Jain. I'm working as Associate Director, Training and Placement Division of Jain University. So I take care of placements. And I've come to know about that when last year it was a COVID, digitization is there, huge requirement is there. And in fact, we say that we don't have a student to give it to company. because everybody is having 3-4 offers. But drastically after 6 months, we feel that yes, now COVID impact is not there, digitization is there, and the still layoff is happening. So how you relate that transformation in this technology should not take the job of the youngsters, because the future is of young generation. How we can develop the future of our children if we are only talking about digitization, and now digitization is showing the impact that yes, people are losing their jobs. So I want to understand more about this.
Who want
Thank
to-
you.
Who want to start first?
I can
Chetan,
take a
go ahead.
stab at it. So I don't think digitization is necessarily taking jobs, but let me give it a slightly different angle. I think what we've seen in the recent past, in the last 6 months, is because of various events happening around the world. The economies are going through turbulence, there's inflation, and all the plans that companies had of I would say, accelerated digitization, that's taken a pause. So companies like Meta and others have basically taken a pause as to the speed with which they were going. In fact, they're probably revisiting as to the way they were looking at the future. Is that really going to pan out in the same fashion or not? So that's one angle. I think the other part of digitization is actually it will create more jobs and more work for our talented youth. And the jobs of today will change to something different for tomorrow, where their intellectual prowess and capability will be needed at a much higher level. So I think the opportunity is if we are able to train our youth, and especially our university graduates, to be employable and to hit the ground running, the world is their oyster. There is a huge demand even today. I would also encourage, since you're from the education institutions, for us to look at our curriculums and to make sure that we create employable graduates, not just graduates who do rote learning, etc. And it's a challenge the world over, not unique to India. But I think that's the ask, and if you can get those, there is a lot of work still to be done.
Thank you. You want to say something?
I can just add that I absolutely agree with Chetan. I can give you examples. I work for industrial automation, and one of our goals, you're absolutely right, is to digitize and visualize. So that means we are reducing the people on the shop floor. It's very straightforward. Huh? But at the same time, the other example that I gave you, the backbone of our energy management can be a lot of different things. So that basically translates into a lot of green jobs. Okay, so I agree. In my opinion, we need to be prepared for this to happen. And then you also heard me talk about constraints, right? So that means things are not going to move as fast as well. So there is still time for people to be retrained.
Time is running out. One last question from the audience, please. Mike, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Shankar Ramamurthy. I'm representing the Educational Institute. And my question is, what should the pedagogy look like, and how do we equip ourselves to face the Industry 5.0? What type of transformation changes we should bring? Any quick inputs for us?
Kappu, will you like to answer this?
Sure. So I think now, see, it's about what is the value that we are going to produce for our customers. I think that is super important. All of the companies today are moving moving towards digital transformation. And what does that transformation mean, right? Transformation is not about, taking something that is on your legacy systems and then just building the same on now, fancy open source technologies. It's about how do you rethink your business. It's about the entire process. How do you holistically think about the business itself? It's about business process transformation as well. Because if you're going to just take what you're doing right now and putting it on modern technologies, that's not going to bring in efficiencies that you need for your business. So it's about rethinking the whole thing holistically, your entire business processes, combining it with technology and applying technology where it makes sense, not using technology for the sake of it, but ensuring technology, you build solutions that your customers actually want, what's going to accelerate your business, and be very cautious about it as well. Today, again, we just don't want to, overload our companies with so many people as well. And then you start cutting as well, right? Which we see in some cases. So how do you really plan your efficiencies for your companies? How do you very cautiously manage your operating income as well? So, and how do you calculate your ROICs, your return on invested capital, and be very prudent about it and think about this transformation in a very disciplined manner, and have technology enable your transformation as well.
Thank you.
I just want to add a point.
Please.
If you look at pedagogy, critical thinking and reasoning, creativity and solutioning, that will endure us for now and the future. And that's what we need to look at. We need to be future ready, not just ready now.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what we have done is, as a leadership out here, we have taken the industry use cases and we are trying to bring it into the classrooms so that people start using the industry use cases in academic classrooms. So that's one step we have taken. I just thought whether we are on the right track.
Yes, yes. So time is up. Thanks all the esteemed panelists. Thanks for your expert comments. Thanks audience for listening this role of technology in transforming and securing business. So again, thanks to everyone for attending this session. Thanks a lot.
Yes, thank you so much to the panel and our moderator. We have some gifts coming. May I request our moderator to please hand it over to the panelists. Yes, we can do that louder. Thank you so much for your valuable time and your valuable insights today with us. May I request Mr. Tilak to please hand over a gift to our moderator. Thank you, sir. And a special round of applause to the panel for keeping up to the time. Thank you.